Hi, I'm Kathy Cook. Welcome to part 2 of our 3-day Iyengar Yoga for Beginners course. The only props we will be using today are a chair, a couple of blocks, a strap, and a wall. Let's get started. We'll begin, so sit in Sukhasana, easy cross-leg position. Make sure you're on your sitting bones and the sides of the feet. Just balance yourself and lift up. With your eyes closed, just taking a few breaths there to center yourself. Then open your eyes, and your hands onto your knees. Turn your feet and stand up. We're going to start with some standing poses, so bring your feet together. I have a strap that I'm using. So coming into Tadasana with the inner edges of the feet together, the inner heels, and then take the strap out in front of you, hold on to the strap, extend the arms, and lift up. As you lift up, find those points on the feet, the inner and outer points of the foot, the front of the foot, the back of the foot, descending down, and then exhale, bring the arms down. We'll do it again. So keep yourself well grounded through the feet. As you lengthen the arms, keep the chest lifted and reach up through the arms, through the side trunk. So from the side waist, reach up right through the fingertips. Breathe. Bring your arms down. And now we're going to come into Gomukhasana. So take your right arm, take your left arm hand and hold the elbow, bring it back. And then I'm putting the strap in my top hand. And you'll take that strap from behind, so taking the other arm back, catching the strap, and begin to walk that hand up the back. So the hands are right in the center of the spine. All right, releasing, and then we'll do the other side. Reach the arms up. First get that length, foundation in the feet, and then just allowing that strap to drop down from that left hand. And then take the hand and draw the elbow back. Bring that left shoulder blade into the body, elbow straight up. Bring the other arm out to the side, and then walk the hand up and catch the strap. Walking the hands towards one another to lift up. Lift the left arm, lift the right side trunk. I'll show from the back. So you want your hands right in the center. That left arm is reaching up, the left inner arm is parallel to your head. So we'll do it again. Bring the arm up, walk the hand down. Do it again without the strap, so walk your fingers up, holding onto the fingers. Lift up through the chest, collarbones wide. Lift up through the right chest. The right chest tends to sink, so keep that awareness there. And then extend the arms up, out to the side. We'll do the other side. So reaching up with that right arm, bend the elbow, walk the hand down, taking the other hand back, walk the hands up. If you want to use the strap, of course you can continue to use the strap. For those of you that can catch your fingers, lengthen, open the armpit chest, breathe. Stabilize yourself there. Strong legs. Release the arms. Bring both arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and then bring the hands down. So standing in Tadasana, getting ready to jump our feet, 3.5, 4 feet apart. We come into Utthita Trikonasana, so externally rotating the right leg. Pressing that left heel back. Stabilize in both feet. Stay in the back heel, stay in the back foot, and lengthen forward over that front leg. So creating as much length through that right side trunk as possible. Pressing down with the bottom hand, turn the left chest up toward the ceiling. So you're rotating. And rotate the inner back thigh, rotate the pelvis. Inhale, come up. turn the feet, and we'll turn to do the other side. So the front leg is externally rotating, the back pelvis is turning, and the back inner thigh is rotating outward. So lengthening, extend the hand down, your right hand on your hip, your left hand on your shin, press down. Stabilize yourself back through the legs. Bring your awareness into the feet. And with that downward hand, press down and turn the chest. Open through the front of the chest. Keep the chest lifted. And then come up, turn the feet parallel, and jump the feet together. Come back to Tadasana. You're stabilizing yourself there. Breathe. Be aware of your body and space. And then getting ready to jump out again. Turning the back heel, externally rotating the right leg. Getting that rotation right at the top of the thigh. Cutting the right buttocks under. Extend through that right arm, extending through that side trunk. Pausing there, rotating through the back leg. Keep the back leg active, moving the thigh back and pressing into the back foot. Turn the chest, turn the left chest toward the ceiling, and then turn the head and look up. Coming up, we'll turn to do the other side. Keeping that right heel, right outer foot in contact with the floor, lengthen through the front leg. Pressing the front foot down, externally rotate through the left thigh. Cutting that left buttock under. And then inhale, lift up through that top arm. Create extension through both arms, from the center of the chest and from the center of the back. Like you have wings. Breathe into that. Turn the head. Look up at the fingers. Inhale, come up. So continue to stay aware of your breath. Aware of the breath in the body. Coming back now to Tadasana. Centering yourself. Bringing the feet together, outer thighs together, front thighs back, tailbone forward, lift up through the chest. And then bring your arms up, jumping the feet apart again. Wide stride. Turning, we'll move into Virabhadrasana II. So this is with the bent knee position. So as you bend the right knee, keep that external rotation on the right leg. Drop the tailbone down. Keep the inner back thigh lifted and the weight on the outer edge of the back foot. And then turn the feet, go to do the other side. Stay grounded in the back leg. Inhale, exhale, bend the front knee. If you need to widen your stride, take the back foot back a little bit further. So you're coming into a 90-degree angle, if possible. If not, just coming down so that the knee is over the ankle. Dropping the left hip down, dropping the buttocks down. And then inhale, come up. And jump the feet together again. Tadasana. Stand in Tadasana. Come back to your breath. Inhale, exhale, jump the feet apart. Come into Virabhadrasana II once again. So you want the knee to be pointing right over the second and third toes, so that inner knee is moving toward the little toe side of your foot. Stay grounded through the back leg, back foot, arms descending, shoulders descending, arms lengthening. Inhale, come up. Getting ready to turn to do the other side. Keep the arms up. Keep the arms in line with the shoulders and reach through the fingertips. So from the center of the middle back, reach through and lengthen. Dropping the tailbone, lift the back of the head, and then turn and look over your front hand. Just gazing beyond the fingertips. Soft breath. Inhale, come up. Jump the feet together. Coming back to Tadasana. Finding balance. Always using Tadasana to come back to balance. And now we're going to come down onto the knees. We're going to come into Pariyangrasana, which means gate pose. And here we're going to take the preparation version. We bring the block in front of the right ankle, bending the knee again at 90 degrees, lengthening over that front leg. Bring the hand onto the block and resist the arm away from the leg. So the knee is moving toward the little toe side of the foot. As the arm presses against that knee or resists away, bring the right shoulder and upper back away from the back wall, and then lengthening the arm over the head. So getting that length from the outer waist, from the outer hip, reaching all the way up through the fingertips, look underneath the arm, and then inhale, come up. You're going to switch the block to the other side, so you're coming onto both knees, take the block over. Just look at the alignment of the heel. The heel is in line with the right knee, and the block has 3 different heights, so if you need to raise that block, you can use one of those versions I just showed. All right, so hands on the hips. Use the front foot as a brake, so the knee doesn't go over the front foot. The knee is drawing back toward the femur bone so that there's a connection of the upper thigh into the hip socket, and then taking the hand onto that block, pressing down and moving the back body forward. So moving the left chest forward, turning the right chest, and then reaching up, connecting with the bottom hand, connecting with the outer hip, lengthening. So from the knee to the hip, and the hip to the outer side trunk, right up through the fingertips. And then inhale, come up. Come back onto both knees. We'll do it again on the other side. So if you need to use the block again, do that. If not, if you can go down and bring your hand onto the floor, then bring the fingertips onto the floor, press the fingertips down, and as you do that, lift the upper arm into the shoulder and bring the shoulder blade into the body. Turn the left chest. Stay grounded through that back knee. Now I'm lengthening a little bit more, see if I can get a little bit deeper. Front groin is deep. That left knee pressing down, lengthening over the side trunk. With the arm like an arrow, reaching over, breathe. And then bring the knees back, turning to do the other side. So again, you can use the block on the inner side of the foot. If you still need that block, take the height that you need. For those that can go a little bit further, everyone's body type is different and body condition is different, so use your awareness to guide yourself so that you're getting as much length and space as you can. Bring the arm up, connect from the bottom hand, reaching up, and then turn the arm and bring the arm over the head. Still maintaining that length and movement from the knee, left knee, into the hip, into the pelvis, and then inhale, come up. Pariyangrasana. So we'll stand now and we'll come back into Tadasana, wide leg, and we're coming into resting Uttanasana. So the hips are moving back, your arms are folded over your head. Keep the arms lifted so that they're in line with the back of the head, not dropping the arms, lengthening through both sides of the trunk, and then come up. Bring your feet together, come back to Tadasana, and then we'll turn to face the wall. So we'll use the wall now to get that length that we were getting in resting Uttanasana, but we only went halfway down. So using the wall now, use your hands at the wall, extend all the way through the arms, through the side trunk, all the way back to the hips. So now you've walked your feet back underneath your hips so that the legs are in line. Use the hands, gently pressing. You can be on the fingertips to press even further. Move the inner thighs back, lift the back thighs up. Take a few breaths there. And then walk up. And I'm walking my right foot forward. So bring your toes right to the wall, bring the other foot back, and press that back heel, but turn the left hip forward. So as you turn the left hip forward, bend the right knee, dropping the tailbone. Keep the chest lifted. By using the hands at the wall, lift up through the sternum even more. And then straightening that leg. Keep the right hip moving back, left hip moving forward. You can walk, lengthen forward, bring your head right to the wall, fingertips down. And then if that's, you need more space for your shoulders, you can bring your arms up, lengthen up. So depending on the tightness of your shoulders, you can take either the first or the second. And then you're going to turn to do the other side. So using the wall as your guide for the length. Left foot at the wall, right foot back. Right heel pressing back. Bend the knee. Turning that left hip back, right hip forward. Again, lengthening, use the hands at the wall to draw that left hip back. Stay grounded in that back heel, turn the right hip forward. And again, you can walk your hands up, shoulders are a bit tight. Just using the wall to get that action through the legs. And then we'll do facing forward, away from the wall, turning, and then you'll bring your arms up and moving that right hip back, turning the left hip forward, extend over the front leg. Bring your hands onto your hips. Pressing from the front foot, draw up through the right kneecap. Moving that left thigh to the left, left pelvis to the right, and lengthening over the front leg. Starting to come down and then lift up, concave the back, beyond the fingertips. Bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale, come up. Step the back foot forward. Come back into Tadasana. I'm going to go to the other side, so step your right leg back and pivot your hips. So turning the right hip forward, left hip is moving back. So from the front foot, pressing down, lift the kneecap, draw up through that left thigh, move the left hip back, from the back heel, move the right hip forward. Hands on your hips, lengthen forward over the front leg. Extend, breathe. Bring your hands down onto the floor or onto blocks. Lift up. And then bend the elbows, release down. Left hip is moving back, right hip is moving forward. Keep the legs grounded and strong. As you come up, you'll bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale, in, come up. Step your back foot forward, come back to Tadasana. And just remember to breathe. Stand, coming back to the breath. And now we're going to go down onto the floor to Dandasana. So you'll sit, adjust the buttocks, you're on the sitting bones, take your hands behind you, cup the fingers, and using the fingers to get that lift through the side trunk, but draw your shoulders back. Draw the outer edge of the shoulder blades in and that middle part of the back into the body. Lift the chest. Feet are broad and wide. Thighs are descending strongly. So in Dandasana, in order to lift the spine, thighs are moving down toward the floor. So now we're coming into Virasana. So you can take the block, sit on the block, stretch your toes back, stretch the fronts of the ankles, and you'll be on the knees. So I'm lifting up, and I'm going to show you, just bring your thumbs behind the backs of the knees and lengthen the calves back and out to the side. So we make space through the backs of the knees. We all need more space in the knees. And then sitting evenly on the sitting bones, adjusting your feet, outer heels moving in, press the ankles down, press the shins down, extend the toes, lengthen the lower back, and lift up. So you want the back of the head over the tailbone. Now we're going to bring the arms out, Parvatasana, interlacing the fingers, draw the arms back toward the shoulders, and then lift the arms. So with that downward action of the legs, the ankles, the feet, thighs descending strongly, reach up through the arms, opening through the armpit chest area, bringing the shoulder blades from back to the front. So where the armpit area is, when change the cross on the fingers, when you lift up, directly behind the armpit is the shoulder blade. Move the shoulder blade forward and move the arms back, opening that space. Breathe, descend the thighs. Keep the action of the hips moving down. Bring the arms down. And now take hands behind you, holding onto the elbows, rolling the shoulders back, outer shoulder blades moving in. Keep the lift of the front chest and the length through the front of the body. So even though the shoulders are descending, you can see how my arms are holding onto the elbows with the thumb in the crease. Descend your shoulders. And now bring the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, reaching up. You're going to turn. So you're lifting up and you're turning. Your hips are descending. You're reaching up and turning through that middle part of the back where you had your hands earlier. So reaching up, turning that right side back toward the right chest, left chest moving back, and then bring the hands down. So getting a little bit of softness through the middle back. Reach the arms up, bend the elbows. So this is now Garudasana. So you're bending your elbows. Whichever hand is the lower hand, turn it and press it against the top hand as best you can. Maybe you can only catch the thumb. Lift the arms up. So from the elbows to the fingertips, you're reaching up, and bring the hands away from the head. Collarbones are wide, and breathe into the upper back, broad back. Extend the arms out again, change sides. So you can bring your hands onto your shoulders. Once you do that, then bring your hands back, press the bottom hand against the top, and move the hands away from the head. Collarbones wide, breathe into the back body. Feel that nice extension and opening through the back. And then release the arms, extend the arms back up. Breathe, coming forward, bring the fingertips onto the floor, anchor your hips back. And now, just coming into this forward bend, lift the abdomen and pull the skin of the abdomen forward. So as you go forward, you can extend more, reach your hands forward, keep your hips moving back, pressing the feet, the ankles down onto the floor, lengthen, extend through the side trunk. And then inhale, come up, sit back. And now you're going to come into Dandasana. So reach the legs forward, both legs, sitting on the block evenly, and you'll take your strap. So take the strap on the ball of the foot, and I have a doubled strap here, but if you're not able to reach that and bring your shoulders over your hips, then just open the strap out. Sit directly over your hips, upper arms moving back, and then bring the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Press the thighs down strongly. In order to raise your arms, raise the side trunk, the thighs must be moving down. So that keeps the legs active. So it's important to do that. Now we're going to come into Trianga, Mukhaikapada, Paschimottanasana. Same thing on the right leg. That right thigh is the Dandasana leg. Right thigh descending, left thigh descending. Reaching through the foot, pressing the foot onto the floor, holding onto that strap. Coming forward with a concave action, and again lengthening through the abdomen so that abdominal flesh is moving up, not getting caught or left behind. And then from that middle section where we were doing that twisting earlier, middle back, moving forward, lifting the front ribs forward, using the strap to access that area. If you can take your hand onto your foot, do that. You can see me bending here and showing the incorrect pose, which I don't like to do, but we're not in class together, so I'm showing that action so you can see how the belt is used to start to bring that awareness into the body. So if it's difficult to go forward without bending, then you stay in more of an upright position, just working on that middle back. If you can go forward, bend the elbows and lengthen forward. You see here I'm coming forward too much. I need access to that middle back, using the arms, pulling with the strap, and then inhale, come up. And we'll do the other side. So we'll come back to Dandasana, bringing that left leg forward, and then take the other leg back. So you're on the front of the foot, that ankle is moving down toward the floor, and now that left leg is in Dandasana. So pressing down through the front of the thigh, sitting equally on your sitting bones, keeping the right hip down, and that middle back there that's where you want to get that concave action. So pressing through the ball of the foot, pulling with the strap, pulling the arms, drawing the arms back into the shoulder. Move that middle part of the back in, and also lengthen from the front abdomen, deepening the front groin as you go, so you can get maximum extension through the front body as well as the back body. The front body likes to sink back body likes to round. So keeping that extension through both sides of the trunk as long as you can, holding the feet, lengthening, and then straightening the arms again, and then straightening the legs. Coming back to the first side. So as we do it a few times, you gain more familiarity. So doing a couple times becomes, your body gets more of an idea of what you're doing. You're coming forward now. We're going without the strap, walking your hands forward. Of course, if you have that rounded back like I showed earlier, use the strap. Walk the hands forward, lengthen the side trunk, keep the hips descending back, anchoring with the feet, anchoring with the hips. Inhale, lengthen up, reach up with the arms, and then bring the hands down. Come back to Dandasana, and then coming back with the other leg. Keep the foot active. You're right on the center of the heel, the toes are spread. Now lengthen the arms up as you press the thigh down and extend forward. So the whole, from the hips back, are moving backward, side trunk lengthening forward, anchoring down with that Dandasana leg, walk forward, catching, using the strap or holding onto the foot. Elbows are bent out to the side and lifted up. So when the elbows are bent, you can connect back into the shoulder girdle. So showing here, long arms reaching up, and then sitting back in Dandasana, right on the center of the feet, broad feet, having the strap right on the foot, using that strap again to get that connection with the upper arm into the shoulder girdle, to sit upright, to lengthen through the front body, to descend from the tops of the shoulders down through the back body, and then hinging forward. So you're hinging from that front groin. That front groin is deepening. You're lengthening, continuing to lengthen up through the front body, being aware of that back body, how it wants to round, keeping the elbows bent to connect the upper arm back into the shoulder girdle. So when you keep the arms lifted, you have more chance to lift up through the back. When you bring the elbows down, the front chest sinks. Keep the elbows bent and lengthen forward. Inhale, straighten. So you see that rounded back, lift up, come into a position where you can maintain a straight back. So using the strap for your own body condition, and then as you become more mobile in that back body, in the groin and the hamstrings, release. So we use props to help us go a little bit deeper. When you no longer need that prop, then you begin to use your awareness to move deeper without the prop. So sitting on your sitting bones, my lower back is sinking now, so I'm drawing the flesh of the buttocks back out to the side so that the lower back can lift up. So always in doing our forward bends, we want to keep the lower back long and the abdomen broad and wide, and use the fingers on the toes. Paschimottanasana, pulling the toes back, extending the arms, bringing the armpit chest, back armpit chest forward, that middle back forward, concaving the back, and then coming back up. Thighs descending down toward the floor as you reached up. All right. And now we're going to stand up and sit in the chair. So get your chair. You're going to sit with your outer right thigh to the chair back. Bring both feet together. Be on the chair as much as you can. Bringing the hands to the back of the chair rail, you can see one hand is pushing. So my right hand is pushing that right shoulder or that left shoulder away, and the right hand is pulling the other shoulder forward. So first lengthening up, In any twisting, we want to be completely vertical. So be even on your sitting bones and lengthen up, right up through the center of the body, right up through the spine, right up through the crown of the head. So using the breath to do that, as you inhale, lengthen, and exhaling on a turn. So using that extension to get as much space through the spinal column as you can. We have discs between the vertebrae that need to get space, also bring blood circulation into that area. So as we lift up, the front anterior spine is lengthening up, and the back is moving down. Using the hands to get more access into the shoulders and more twisting action through the abdominal area as well as the chest, into the organic body. Use your breath, use your exhalation to turn. And then coming back, sitting forward, your feet are wide, your heels are a little bit further forward than your knees. It can be under your knees. Walk your hands forward. Forward Virasana, so you're lengthening. Again, side trunk is lengthening. Walk your hands forward. Keep your hips on the chair, pressing down with the thighs as you lengthen forward. And then if you can take your hands on that chair. If not, just walk your hands back, or you can even take a strap there if you wanted to hold the strap. Release your head down. Let the lower back widen right across the sacrum. A few quiet breaths in that pose. And then we'll come up. You can take your chair away, so you place it at the back of your mat, at the wall, and you're going to sit down on the mat and face the chair. So lay down on your back and move your hips right underneath the chair seat. I want you to be able to hold onto the chair legs, so you can take your feet on the front of the chair, holding the chair. You're going to raise your hips up and roll your shoulders under, one at a time. Roll the left and then the right. And as you do that, press the feet and lift the hips more. Lift up, lift from the middle back. Where we've been doing that twisting. Move the back body toward the front chest. Move the tailbone into the body. Lift the hips up. Setu Bandha. In Setu Bandha, press the feet against the wall. Press the shoulders down and lift up through the hips. Lift up through the back body. So keeping the legs firm, keeping that connection with the wall firm, connection with the shoulders down. Use the breath and lift up, staying a few more breaths. And then coming down, bring your feet back onto the chair. Press the feet into the chair, so have the heels right at the front of the chair. Keep the arms long. And lift up through the hips. Absorb the tailbone into the body, lift the buttocks up, lengthen the fronts of the thighs. So in this position, your hands are in contact with that chair, all the way up through the arms. Descend the shoulders down, and from that downward action of the shoulders, lift up through the middle back. I've adjusted the arms again, so coming onto the outer sides of the shoulders. So you have maximum capacity to use the shoulders to lift up from the floor. So again, you're using that opposing action, descending the shoulders, descending the arms, descending the feet and heels, lifting up. And then exhale, coming down. And you'll bring your calves onto the chair. Come a little bit away from the chair. And just lengthen out the middle back and the upper back, a little bit away from the hips. So when we walked our hands closer to the chair, there was that curve in the back. So now lengthen out that curve, be flat on your back. But keep that awareness of your arms, your shoulders. So the shoulders are still rotating. When you rotate the shoulder, the whole arm turns. The palm is facing up toward the ceiling, which helps you to keep a lift of the chest, so you're not sinking in the chest. All the work we've done to open through the chest, collarbones wide, just let the shoulders descend down. Let the hips descend down. Let the calves rest heavily on the chair, so that from there the thighs move down into the hip socket. And with that descending action, the abdomen will quiet. Soft, slow, smooth breath. Back of the head is long, right on the center. Let your eyes descend down. Now take your feet to the side of the chair, soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Knees to the side. Coming into Baddha Konasana, just allow the breath to be relaxed. Feel the lower back wide. Observe your breath. Starting to feel more depth in the breath. Bring the feet onto the front of the chair, bringing your knees together. And then roll over onto your right side. Resting your head on your arm. And then when you're ready, press yourself up and come back into a seated position. Namaste. Staying quiet with the breath. When you're ready, open your eyes and have a great day. Thank you for showing up. If you've learned something today, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the bell so that you'll be notified when the class is available. Lastly, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer them. I'll see you in the next class.